It's big shoes to fill, you know, especially when you go to AFBF and you do see Zippy up on stage in front of the full American Farm Bureau. You know, it's like, you know, one day that could be, you know, another state chair, young farmer chair from Georgia. But we enjoy it. The main thing is meeting all the people and knowing that, learning and knowing what Farm Bureau actually does for people, whether they're in farming or out of farming. That's one thing that I like to talk to people about, is what Farm Bureau actually does to help people that aren't in the farming industry, whether you're in construction or grading, you know, or just say trucking industry is one thing. It's things like that I think if you push it forward towards people, they see what Farm Bureau can do and realize what good of an organization it is to be a part of. It's just nice to know that when I wake up every morning, I can go outside and basically get to do what I love, which is taking care of the land, taking care of the cows. You know, anything wildlife oriented is what I like to do. And to be able to do this is a blessing from God, shall I say. I mean, it's something that a lot of people want to do but aren't able to do. But the ones that are able to do it, you know, I don't think we take it for granted. That's something that I try not to do, and it's something that I try to teach my kids, you know, that not everybody has this. Not everybody, you know, can go outside and ride the mule or a four-wheeler every day, or go fishing every day, or, you know, feed cows, pet cows, you know. And it's the little things like that I guess kind of takes you back to the way your ancestors were when most of them were farmers. And that's something that I strive, I guess, in my opinion, that I strive my best to, you know, instill it into my girls, you know, that don't take any of this for granted, because one day it could all be gone, you know, and hopefully that's not ever going to happen. But, you know, there's been farmers that have lost it all, you know, and you know, it's a shame to say it, but it's just the way life is sometimes. And it hurts me whenever I do see a farmer who does lose his farm, because you sit there and you think about what we could have done to help them, maybe to make their farm better, to grow their farm. And it's gotten to be now where the smaller the farm, the harder it is to make a living off of it. You know, basically you got to have thousands of acres to really make a good row crop farmer. And when you have smaller, like our property's 550 acres, you have to diversify with what you want to do. This is a place that we moved to. My in-laws bought this place 3 years ago, and kind of gave me the opportunity to run this farm and make it self-sufficient. We came with a business plan of getting this 550-something acres and turning it back into a working cattle farm, and doing quail hunts on it. And, you know, here recently we've decided to go on the route of building a barn to which we can do, you know, rent out for weddings, events, or whatever. And we have extra houses here on this farm that we're going to start doing kind of like a weekend farm retreat. And that's something that we're going to try it. You know, if it works, that'll be great. But if it doesn't, you know, we'll move on to the next thing that we can try to do. I'd like to be able to let people be more approachable. I think approachability is a main thing for a young farmer, because we can influence people our own age. And, you know, and I think if somebody has questions, you know, a lot of times it's hard to answer them. And then sometimes, you know, farmers will put off personas as they'll get defensive when people do have questions about, say, GMOs or the way they are doing their farming practice. And I think there needs to be more approachability in the way that we answer those types of questions. You know, not as far as a hard-driven answer, but just you know, and ease them into what we do, and so they can kind of see it as a good perspective of we are here to help out. You know, we're not going to put stuff in our own, you know, in our cows that we're not going to eat. I mean, the cows we grow or the cows that we eat are the cows that I feed, you know, my family with. People that grow corn, I mean, they eat that corn just as much as anybody else does, and that's one thing that I feel if we can approach it and be approachable in a little bit different aspect, I think we'll be able to change a lot of people's views of farming.